It's your boy Crypto Blood. What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. And today we're going to switch it up a little bit. I want to go over a user or subs, I shouldn't say user, a subscriber's email that was sent to me. And a very interesting email, and I wanted to go over this topic and kind of get your feedback and have you guys discuss this with me. I love hearing your thoughts about things and responding and stuff. That stuff really just, I hope as the channel grows, I can continue to, and I know it's going to be impossible, but I love talking to my subs, people in the Webbot chat room. That's something that I just always have loved. So hopefully I can keep that up to the best of my abilities as things continue to grow, this crypto space gets bigger. But that's what we're gonna do today, people. We're gonna go over this subs question he emailed me. There are actually two questions, and so we'll go over both of those, and I'll give my feedback, my two satoshis to the gentleman, and I would love to hear what you guys feel about it as well. But first things first, let's go ahead and check out that CoinMarketCap really quickly. So the market cap has grown a little bit more. We're at 241 billion, people. So we're really creeping up there toward the $250 billion mark. BTC dominance is at 56.3%, up 0.3% from yesterday. And we're having more and more every day. It's a trickling of more and more money coming into the market. So that's always a good thing, right? As for our chart that we're tracking, I did not note this, and this is because it kind of happened after I did the video yesterday. But this reversal that we were losing steam in the market, and all out of nowhere we had a nice rally the last few days. It was actually this candle here. We were starting to head downward, and then we kind of, you can see that wick, bulls took back over. Essentially what happened, I'm sure you guys know. If you don't, I'm informing you right now. Tether, USDT, Tether, the Tether token, actually had a they were hacked. They're one of their main wallets or whatnot was hacked. $30 million was removed from the wallet. But because Tether is kind of like a pseudo centralized cryptocurrency, they're able to kind of, because they're only certain, so they only allow certain exchanges to actually trade their tokens for other currencies and stuff. So they were able to identify these tokens and basically not allow, like, color them, if you want to call it, color them, so, and tag them so that, you know, those tokens couldn't be used. So I don't know what's going on over there, man. You know, a lot of rumors about them doing that to cover, you know, wash out the shorts or whatnot. I'm not sure. All I know is a lot of people rushed out of USD Tether, or Tether, I should say, USDT, and back into Bitcoin, and that really pushed the markets back up from that event. So it's kind of, again, I always tell you guys, anything that I forecast from a technical standpoint is just that. It's technical. You never know for sure what direction the market is going to go. You can only project and make educated guesses on, you know, which way the market is going to go. Fundamental news can come out of nowhere and totally change the trajectory of any currency or asset or whatever, you know, whatever you're charting. So just always keep that in mind. There's always that inherent risk. So today's article, or it's not really an article, it's an email from a sub of mine. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to read this verbatim. So JF says here, "Hi CB, we've enjoyed the recent videos on your channel and was hoping you would consider a video on the following topic, namely, how much BTC would one need to safely retire? As a former silver stacker, I had a set goal of a certain amount of silver in ounces where I could safely retire based on historical data. The purchasing power of 1 ounce of silver is well established. However, with cryptos, this is entirely a new valuation ball game. With all these price predictions for BTC, I'm wondering how many BTC would one would hold to safely retire." Great question, and that's why I picked it to actually, this is the first time I've ever done this, JF, but that's a very, very good question. I have to first give a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is only my opinion. You're asking for an opinion. I'm giving you an opinion. This is not something you should just follow, use, anything like that. Only my opinion, solely my opinion. Go pay a CFP or financial advisor to give you the real scoop on cryptocurrency. Oh, they won't be able to because they don't even know about them yet. But you get what I'm saying. You know, really, JF, to be honest with you, there are a few factors, and you know, if you're in cryptocurrencies right now, you're in a very unique situation, in my opinion. But it's so early in the game. It's going to be so hard to predict what the age of retirement or how much you should save having in Bitcoin to how old you are, how close to retirement you are. Those are very critical questions that I would need to know. But let's just say you have a 20-year, let's say 15-year time horizon. I'll even shorten it, 10 years. 10-year time horizon to until retirement. I would say in 10 years, with Bitcoin being only 21 million tokens ever to be put in circulation, I would say if you had 20 Bitcoins, and it may, you know, you really could say even less than that, 10 Bitcoins, you could retire on that in 10 years, 10 to 15 years. Reason I say that is, and 10 Bitcoins today is roughly $80,000. The reason I say that is because, first, there are only 21 million tokens. We have no real institutional monies in this game yet. So this is kind of like pre-institution valuation, pre-institutional money valuation of the cryptocurrency markets. We're at roughly $250 billion in market cap for cryptocurrencies. So if I were in someone's shoes in a scenario like that, you know, you could say 10 Bitcoin. That's all you would need, 10 Bitcoin. Because in 10 years, and that's with me being really, really conservative, I can see Bitcoin in 10 years being at between $200,000 and $500,000 per token. And in 10 years, let's you know, I said 200 to 500. Let's just go ahead and pick somewhere in the middle, 250. We'll just say 250, right? $250,000 a token would render you a value of $2.5 million valuation in your cryptocurrency, or at least Bitcoin portfolio. So again, I don't have all the information. I don't know, because in your traditional retirement, how one would calculate their retirement, how much they would need to retire with to live a comfortable life. They take how much they make the year they're retiring, but even some would just take the average amount, basically what your expenses or how much you make and you spend in your lifestyle per year, and deduct like savings, and you would kind of make adjustments for taxes and other different savings funds or whatnot. You would take that, you would times that by 25, I think, or then you have like the 4% rule as well. I've heard of that. But yeah, you would times that by 25, and that would tell you how much you would need for retirement. So if you make $100,000 a year, your expenses are X amount. Let's say you take out your savings, whatever you save a year, and your taxes, let's just say you reduce those a significant amount, and whatever your savings are minus or X those other key points, key factors, you would, let's just say you're at 70,000, right? So you would times that by 25, and so that would be at that point it would be, what's that, guys, help me out, 1.4 million, and then another, so like almost 1.7 million dollars you would need. I hope I'm doing the math right on that, but yeah, so that's how much you would need. But again, I believe Bitcoin will be, in 10 years, it will definitely be in the $200,000-$400,000 range, in my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, that again, it's a risk. There could be a number of things that we don't know or forecast, and we can't because we're not psychic, that we don't know about Bitcoin, what will happen in the future. So with that being said, you just, it's all kind of it's no sure number. But I will say this about cryptocurrencies and how they differ from your traditional savings for retirement, your 401k and all that stuff. Like, cryptocurrencies by nature are deflationary because there are only X amount of, well, especially I'll talk specifically about Bitcoin. There are only 21 million coins. So just the sheer nature of the limited supply, over time, the value per Bitcoin will increase, which makes it a deflationary asset. And so what I mean by that is it's deflationary because the items that you can purchase with that asset, i.e. Bitcoin, the items that you can purchase with Bitcoin will decrease in price over time because Bitcoin is increasing in price. Versus and that's comparing it to other like goods and services, right? But really that's kind of an offshoot or a derivative of what the root comparable should be, which is fiat money. So fiat currency is a currency that is inflationary, right? So the government, central banks are always printing more money, which is causing the value, the purchasing power of that dollar to decrease every month, right? But what that does is it's inflating the prices of the goods and services that you're purchasing with that dollar. As many of you may know, if you don't know, I believe since 1913 or maybe 1930, the U.S. dollar has lost 99.2% or 6%. I think it's just, I don't know if it's I know it's 99% of its purchasing value since 1913 or 1930. Can't remember exactly, but that's how much purchasing power we've lost. So what you're really comparing Bitcoin to is fiat currency. So I say that to say, in your traditional 401k and eating bonds and all that stuff that you're saving, you're always saving into you're saving your life savings into a fiat currency that is forever decreasing in purchasing power. So they try to say it's inflation is 2% a year. It's probably more like 6, 8, or even higher percent a year in inflation. So compounding that, and it won't go. It won't be like a linear thing, right? So in 10 years, it's going to be increasing at a logarithmic pace. So you saving $1 million today, if you have $1 million today, in 10 years, that $1 million most likely will have the purchasing power of 650,000 or 700,000. And then in another 20 years, that same million would have the purchasing power of 400,000. You get what I'm saying? But in contrast, in comparison, in 20 years, Bitcoin's purchasing power, if you had only $80,000 valued in US dollar value today, Bitcoin, $80,000 worth, in 20 years, that value, because the dollar will have lost so much money, so much purchasing power, if it's even around then, that Bitcoin in dollar will be worth, $10 million, $7 million, somewhere around there. So again, I don't have enough information to tell you how many, and I wouldn't, I'm just giving you hypothetical scenarios for your question. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would need to know, how old you are, how far you are from retirement age, how much you make a year. So you would need to calculate that and see what your expenses are. You can use the times 25 rule that many financial planners use. So you do that, find out what your expenses are minus savings, and you can reduce your taxes maybe by half. Times that by 25, you'll know how much you need, and then you can say, okay, well, I know Bitcoin is this price today. In 10 years, Bitcoin maybe 300,000-400,000 a token. Boom, you can see, you can kind of work your way back to how many Bitcoins you would need. Hope that helps, JF. I know it was a little long-winded there, but just wanted to make sure I explain that correctly. The second question here goes, regarding CME Futures and its effect on pricing. I agree that long term this will likely prevent real price discovery. However, if there was a forced delivery component where actual coins off the blockchain had to be delivered, would that not force CME to deliver actual coins, thereby reducing their ability to suppress the price, instead of settling in cash? If there was some killer app requiring delivery, the effect of CME is null. So true. However, you have to remember this is their system. So the CME, the CBOE are setting up their own exchanges, or not, they're not setting up their own exchanges. They're adding these contracts, these futures contracts on their own exchanges. So there's no way for any independent, decentralized mechanism to come in and say, we only take, you know, we want to force you to deliver upon expiration of the contract, deliver actual Bitcoin. So that they don't have to do that. They write the rules. So unfortunately, that will be the case. And unfortunately, because more money will be sloshed around, traded around in their markets versus our organic $250 billion market, because they'll have more money over there. Money follows money. So essentially, we're going to end up pegging. It's going to be close. They're going to follow close. The arbitrage isn't. I think it's going to end up being closer to whatever price they kind of play with, versus what the decentralized exchanges play with. You won't be able to do any arbitrage because they're cash settling. But again, they're planning on and banking on any like retirement funds and you know, pensions and all that stuff. They're not going to go to a decentralized exchange to trade Bitcoin and stuff. They're going to go over to the futures, to CME and CBOE. They're going to use those mechanisms to actually play in that arena. A lot of institutional funds are going to go that route. So it's unfortunate, but I feel like long term this is setting up a nice infrastructure for them to really manipulate the price of Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens though. So I appreciate your question, JF. And yeah, you guys can always ask me questions if I think they're really, really good questions and I know enough about those subjects and topics, I have no problem talking about them. All right, so just either drop stuff in Webbot room and at me. Make sure you at me, and also email me. You can email me on the website. Just check out cryptoblood.io and go to the contact us page and shoot me an email. All right, so that's pretty much it for today, ladies and gents. I hope I helped answer your question, JF, and anyone else listening that was curious about that. And that's how you would kind of calculate how many Bitcoins you would need for retirement. That is it, people. Make sure you like and subscribe, and also make sure you definitely comment in the section below. I want to know your thoughts about how many Bitcoins does average person need to retire. I'm just curious to see what you guys feel. All right, it's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out. Holla.